6-month-old chips, but it's garlic bread, so maybe they're still good. Anyway, I hope your day's been well and that you're ready for some snacks in Solitaire. I had high hopes for these, but now I'm just hoping they're good. Alright, let's get this out of the way while we deal out our first game and then tear open to them. Okay, at least we have a nice start to our night with an ace. So I got these chips a while ago, and they've been on my shelf sitting for a while, clearly. And I found these things at Sam's Club, but I haven't found them anywhere else up to that point. So I got the biggest bag possible. Let me grab that again. Seriously, look at the size of this. "15 servings, 17 chips. That's a lot of potato. Let's open it up. That's a lot of air, and it actually doesn't smell too bad. Okay, let's all make a guess right now at what these will be like. They have that thing I like about Lay's. Well, kind of. Or their little green speckles in the chip. Let's go for it. Honestly, they're not too bad. They don't really taste old, which is a big shocker. Let's just be safe in case we get another king. They obviously still have a very good crunch. I haven't had much salt today, so I was looking forward to a salty snack. And at the moment, they're not half bad. But time will be the test, as we got ourselves a nice little semi-fold with some green, if you can see that. Now, I hope this green is like potato chip green and not mold. Please, don't be mold. Son of a bitch, that's mold. Oh well. I ain't no wimp. Let's just avoid the mold. Oh, that sucks. Well, I guess it's kind of like kombucha. I honestly didn't even consider that Lay's potato chips could mold. I figured they had so many preservatives in them that they're kind of like McDonald's French fries, you know? They don't go. They just get stale, if anything. You better like this video. I'm putting my stomach on the line right now. And don't tell me what happens if you eat mold. I don't need that right now. But it looks like that's the end of game number 1. As there's nowhere for that 5, 9, jack, 10, or 7. So let's pick him up and give these chips another look. Did you think they would mold? Honestly, I thought it was one of those, like, you know when you get a bag of chips, potato chips, and there's sometimes little green cuts in it? Like maybe a potato stem, but not mold. Okay, that explains it. Quadruple queens. The killer queens killed that game. Hopefully these chips don't kill me, as there is clearly mold on that one. Maybe these didn't come with green speckles after all. That one looks fine. Six months. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing that only 2 of them appear to be molded. The one I ate, oh, this one's starting to, right at the tip, so put that on the bad side. And that one seems fine. Okay. Bottoms up, I suppose. Okay, obviously I'm gonna be a little slow with the chips, but I've got a question for you now. What is an instance in your life where you ate something that was clearly past its goodbye date? And I'm gonna have to think on this one. I know one instance from when I was younger that I'll get into after this game, but please share. Whether it was a day old or just sour milk, some what you thought was blue cheese but apparently was just regular Swiss. That type of situation. And it looks like we can begin our deal now? Question mark. Yes. And go for another chip. No mold. We're good. I feel like freaking Homer Simpson right now. Knowingly eating something that is bad for you. That's like blatantly bad for you. In the immediate sense. But you know what? I'm having a good bowl of cereal after this, so don't worry. I plan to have some shredded wheat high fiber stuff to kind of save me. But if I don't upload for about a week, you know what happened. But I don't see that happening. Flavor-wise, I'm trying to think if it has any hint of garlic, and it emphasizes cheesy bread, or cheesy garlic bread, to be exact. And the closest it gets to that is that it tastes like you had like some pizzeria cheesy garlic bread or nuts. And maybe, let's say, 5 hours later, you burp and then you taste it. Crude description, but 100% accurate. Nowhere for that queen. Thankfully, somewhere for that 6, 5, and we earn our first fat stack of the night. Make that our second fat stack of our night. And I think a black king wins it for us right now. Oh wow. We are like, oh wait, I didn't put it down officially. Nowhere for that queen and nowhere for that 10. So I could play that 7. And we've got the 6 in the pocket right there as we spread the stack like that. We have a red 8 trapped under that 7 of clubs, spades. So no matter what we do without that 7, that is it for this game. Dang. But we did get 2 fat stacks. But we were right there. Two cards left. There's the black king and an 8. Time for some more colon blow. What kind of sucks too is by nature, cheese is like a fermented, funky type of taste. So it has that. I don't know if that's by design. I hope that's coming through as much as it is. From what I've had so far. Flavor, not apparent. It's just like salty, but no real garlic, besides like a residue. No. Like, when you want cheesy garlic, you think about garlic, then the cheese for me. It's really missing the garlic. It has a good crunch. Compared to like a standard Lay's chip, I think it's about a 6. Alright, time for that potential food poisoning. Alright, so back in first grade, I was a young lad that was really excited from going from kindergarten to the big kids playground section. And I didn't like having school lunch all the time because it was just boring. Hot lunch and cold lunch didn't have the same ring to it. So I always begged my parents to have cold lunch, but they never really did it. So when we would have leftovers at the house, I would put them in a Ziploc bag and sometimes take them as cold lunch. And you're thinking, why is it that big of a deal? Well, as a kid, if you had cold lunch at my school, you would be released earlier than the kids with hot lunch, since they had to wait in line and wait for the food to get ready. Cold lunch just went and they could go to the playground as soon as they were done eating, while most of the hot lunch was still in line, awaiting their feast. And I was getting very into kickball in first grade. That sounds so silly. And I didn't want to have to wait, so I packed some cold lunch. And I already tried this before. You can't just say you have cold lunch, you have to have actual food, or they'll put you in hot lunch. So I brought some pizza from a place that's close by. And I said, here's my lunch. I didn't eat my food, I just said I did. And then I went straight to the playground. And I put it in my backpack. So, I did that from Monday to Thursday. So here comes Friday. I go for the recess. I think, you know what? I'm actually a little bit hungry right now. So with the pizza I just had in my bag for that long, I then decided to eat at lunch. As that looks... Oh, we got saved by the queen. And I had it for lunch, didn't feel anything. But when I got back to class, I think my stomach must have hurt or something. Because I went to the nurse. And when I was a kid, I was a little bit of a turd. I'd sometimes go to the nurse to go home. And I think I kind of used that as an excuse to play up how I was feeling, so I could go home. As we know her for that 5-3-8, 5-8, queen, 10 on the game, number 4. And my parents asked me, what'd you eat for lunch? And I said, pizza. And they're like, oh, so that's not too bad. What else did you eat? And I said, just pizza. And they looked at the school lunch menu and noticed there was no pizza today. There was no pizza this week. What pizza did you eat? And I said, oh, the pizza from when we had it last time at our house. And when we had pizza last at our house was the previous Friday. So 2 days in the fridge and 5 days in my backpack till lunchtime. And where I live, it gets hot. was a bit much. I knew that I didn't really feel that bad about it. It was just me playing it up. But then I figured out, okay, maybe I shouldn't eat food from a week ago, or that I've had my lunch pail for about, let's say, 5 days. And yeah, that's my story there. I think I got another one, but let's go for some more destructive chips. Triple threes as we make our third play. Oh my god, we're done. All 4 threes blocking us off on the left. We need some aces and twos, or we're done. Might as well get into the next story as those fester. So, unbeknownst to me, in my younger years, my mom was very forgetful, and she would get up in the middle of the night to eat a snack constantly. Wow, we really got messed up this time. King, queen, jack, queen, king, double nine, with more face cards lurking beneath. On to our final game of the night. And I didn't pick up on it till like later high school, but during my like sophomore, junior year, I was going through lots of dietary changes for like sports reasons, and I made it to where I would drink a gallon of milk a day for like 3 months or so, just because it tasted good. Triple tens, triple sevens. No wonder why that one was tough. So, going back to my mom, she was very forgetful, kind of haphazard in a sense, clumsy. And when she would go in the fridge, sometimes she would just go like that to the fridge door, and it wouldn't close. And that was during a time where we didn't have a new refrigerator, so it didn't beep, it didn't do anything, it just was silent. And there would be times where I'd come back home and see that the fridge was left open, the lights were turned off, and the food was almost room temperature. And I just thought, oh well, looks like we're gonna have to throw that away, type of thing. But this day, I must have been doing something out with friends or school sports, whatever. And I remember coming back home, getting ready to go for a run, and I went to my gallon of milk, and I just chugged like 2 gulps in, and it was smooth until it was like cottage cheese, and then a big chunk. Instantly, I ran to the sink and spit it out, but I got 1 swallow in. So, after that, I knew it was bad, but I wanted to give it the smell test, if you know what I mean. Like, it's so gross you have to smell it. I did that, and that's where my eyes watered, my nose hairs burned, and that's when it really hit me. And that's just one of the grosser feelings I've had with old food. I think it sticks with me because it's a texture detail. I'm sure I've eaten other old food, but it just kind of meh. But that one stuck with me to where I check milk a couple more times than I should at points. And if I didn't say this yet, what bothers me about these chips is that they don't mold in the middle. They only mold barely on the edges. And you'd think the edges would be the part that wouldn't mold as much. And I don't know. I don't know if it's a head game. Maybe I'm hungry, despite that. Or maybe World War III is happening in my stomach. I feel fine. But you know that just lingering feeling of, am I queasy? Do I need a fart? Or did I have something bad? Alright, anyway, now we're for that 8, 10, 6, or jack. No place left on the field. And I think that's Solitaire's way of telling me, don't eat those chips, you idiot. Don't be a jackass. Anyway, my friend, we're not doing that again. I'm gonna check the expiration dates on some other items. Next snacks in Solitaire. We'll have a good one. Trust me. But for now, let's see what we had lying beneath, as we had a lot of doubles. That's it. I hope you have yourself a relaxing remainder of your night. Many sweet dreams when you do. Time for some cereal on my end. Check your milk cartons, milk jugs. And as always, stay safe and eat your fruits and vegetables.